Dear students, today's topic is pollination. There are many 2 mark and 5 mark questions from this topic. So listen to it carefully and you will have some interesting features too. Okay, let's come to the topic. So far we have learnt about the production of male and female gametes. After the production of these gametes, pollination takes place. Let's know what's pollination. The process of transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower is known as pollination. ஒரு பூவில் ஆந்தரில் இருந்து ஸ்டிக்மாக்கு pollen grains transfer ஆகும் நிகழ்வுக்கு பெயர் pollination. The process of transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of a flower is known as pollination. Okay, what's the purpose of pollination? Why it is taking place? To fertilize the egg that is produced in ovule. Why is the egg to be fertilized? To produce fruits. Why do the plants produce the fruits? For us to eat. What's the use of seed that is produced inside the fruit? To produce the plant again. So, பழம் நமக்கு seed plant for existing the species by producing their offsprings. Seed மூலமா plant தன்னோட generation உருவாக்குது. Okay, we know what is pollination. Now, we are going to learn about the types of pollination in different plants and adaptations of flowers for pollination. Pollination is the characteristic feature of spermatophyte, which includes gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms have exposed ovules, so pollens are directly deposited on ovules. Whereas in angiosperms, it is indirect because pollens are deposited on stigma of pistil, not directly on ovules. Gymnospermsல ovule வெளியில தெரியும். So pollens are deposited on ovules. But in angiosperms, ovules are present inside the ovary. So pollens are not directly deposited on ovules. Okay, these angiosperms have two types of flowers. They are chasmogamous and clistogamous flowers. Most of the angiosperms produce chasmogamous flowers or open flowers. These flowers expose their sex organs. That is, anthers and stigma are exposed outside. This phenomenon is called chasmogamy. Some flowers have clistogamous flowers or closed flowers. They do not expose their sex organs. This phenomenon is called clistogamy. Based on the flowers on which the pollen of flower reaches, the pollination is classified into self-pollination or autogamy and cross-pollination or allogamy. Now let us learn about self-pollination. Transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of the same flower is called self-pollination. அதாவது pollen grain அதே பூவில் இருக்கிற ஸ்டிக்மாக்கு டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆனால் அதுக்கு பேர் செல்ஃப் பாலினேஷன். இட் இஸ் கால்ட் ஆட்டோகேமி. ஆட்டோனா செல்ஃப், கேமினா யூனியன். தமிழில் தன் மகரந்த சேர்க்கை. Self-pollination is possible only in bisexual flowers. Both sex organs are present in the same flower are called bisexual flowers. Okay, now let us know what are the adaptations or mechanisms seen in flowers. They are clistogamy, homogamy and incomplete dichogamy. These are the adaptations. Let us see one by one. The first one is clistogamy. You know that clistogamous flowers do not expose their reproductive organs. You have already learnt when you studied about endothecium in mature anther. Endothecial differentiation is absent in these flowers because pollination takes place within the closed flower. Camelina, Viola, Oxalis are some examples for clistogamous flowers. Now let us take Camelina bengalensis. This plant produces two types of flowers. They are aerial and underground flowers. The aerial flowers are bright, chasmogamous and insect pollinated. They attract the insects by bright color. They expose the sex organs for pollination. The underground flowers are clistogamous flowers. They are seen in the branches of rhizome that is produced underground, and they are dull. They do not open their sex organs, so they are not dependent on pollinators for pollination. The next adaptation is homogamy. In homogamy, stamens and stigma of a flower mature at same time. Homo means same, ஒரே நேரத்துல ஒரே சமயத்துலன்னு அர்த்தம். Pollination occurs between stamen and stigma only if they attain maturity at the same time. அதாவது செக்ஸ் ஆர்கன்ஸ் ஒரே நேரத்தில் மெச்சூர் ஆனாதான் பாலினேஷன் நடக்கும். எக்ஸாம்பிள் மிராபிலிஸ் ஜலப்பா. 4 o'clock பிளான்ட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, அந்தி மந்தாரை. அந்தினா ஈவினிங் டைமில் தான் இந்த பூ பூக்கும். 5 மணி பூன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. டேபிள் ரோஸ் கரெக்டாக காலையில் 10 மணிக்கு பூக்கும் இல்லையா, அதே மாதிரி இது 5 மணிக்கு பூக்கும். நெக்ஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இஸ் கத்தாராந்தஸ் ரோசியஸ். நித்திய கல்யாணின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. சுடுகாட்டு பூன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. இதை நம்ம டவுன்ஷிப் ரோட்டில் அழகுக்காக வச்சுருப்பாங்க. மெடிசின்ஸ் ஆர் ப்ரொடியூஸ்ட் ஃப்ரம் திஸ் ஃப்ளவர் ஃபார் பிளட் கேன்சர். தென் த தேர்ட் ஒன் இஸ் incomplete dichogamy. Dichogamy means anther and stigmas mature at different times. Homogamy means same time. Dichogamy means at different time. But sometimes the time of maturation overlap with each other. அதாவது சில சமயத்தில் மெச்சுரேஷன் டைம் ஒத்து போயிடும், கோயின்சைட் ஆயிரும். You know, pollination occurs if the sex organs attain maturity at same time. Example is not given in your book, but I will give. Example, Geonoma e petiolata. We have learnt adaptations of plants for self-pollination. They are clistogamy, homogamy and incomplete dichogamy.